Time now for sports on SSPTV News.
It's the triumphant return of Dave Seaman here on SSPTV News. It's another Dave Day, and Dave, so much has happened. We're kind of in a lull now as spring sports kind of on pause as we wait for the weather to clear up and the snow to melt. But let's go back and talk about the Monterey area girls basketball team. They lose to Minersville in the semifinals, Dave, state semifinals, AA, and it was a great game. Minersville goes on to win the state championship pretty convincingly, and all of a sudden the Monterey area roster, they're going to be returning a lot of girls. There was an article in the Standard Speaker about next year may be the year for the Bears. It's far away, but they have a lot to look forward to, and they should be proud of what they accomplished this season as well.
Well, the way Tom Sheeler started the program a few years back, you wouldn't have thought that the Bears would have been in that position. But a couple of years ago, they started building a foundation. You start from scratch. You get a couple of players to buy in. You get a couple more players the following year. Before you know it, you have a program that's ready to contend for division championship. You start there. You battle teams like Minersville. You get your feet wet. Minersville pushed them around a little bit. They battled Minersville a little bit. You knew Minersville was the cream of the crop in the Schuylkill League, District 11, and as they showed in the state. So you got some experience playing against the Minersville. Now more of those Monterey area girls will be coming back next year. They have the experience of what it takes to be in a state playoffs from each of the past two seasons, and they know what it takes. So you get that experience and some talent, excellent coaching, and Tom Sheeler, who's been around for a long time, first starting under the legendary Mickey Holland as a boys coach, and now passing that passion on to the girls program. It's a win situation for the Monterey girls program.
Dave, on PIAA, they're looking for referees. I read a story in the Times Leader recently saying there's a shortage around the state really, or as referees are getting older, not a lot of younger kids, younger people getting involved to sign up to be referees. We always talk about players, they'll go on to be coaches or possibly administrators, but rarely do we hear them going on to be referees.
Yeah, that's true. You wonder why that's the case, because it's an opportunity for athletes to stay involved in their sports and to give back to the community. You look around the Wyoming Valley Conference, Schuylkill League. Most of the officials are the veterans. They've been around for a long time now, and there needs to be somebody to step in their place. And it's, like I said, it's a great opportunity for athletes to stay involved. It could be a headache at times. It's not easy to be a referee, and kudos to them, because they're getting grief a lot of times. But most of the times they do their job in a fair and equitable way, and to get more referees is going to help the whole sports program in all of northeastern Pennsylvania.
And there are certain programs the PIAA does have to reach out to the younger generations to become referees. Dave, I got asked once, I did a story on football referees. I followed them around for a game, did some interviews, and they said, why don't you become an official? And I thought about it. As much as I love football and understand it, I was like, there's so many rules and it's so complicated, and you do get grief. I don't know if it's worth it. Is how we view referees. Should there maybe be more in place to give them a little bit more, I don't want to say space, but maybe not get ridiculed as much, or is that just something that will never be? It's just a part of the game.
It's a human nature that people are going to get on the referees. I think we ought to emphasize the fun aspect of it too. And fun, you stay in shape, you're around the game.
The Final Four this year, Dave, Gonzaga is there. They finally make it. Is this the year of the Zags? They'll take on South Carolina. Oregon will take on North Carolina for the right to get to the national title game this weekend. You think the Zags could do it?
Gonzaga's not going to have a pushover, but Gonzaga can shoot the basketball. They're as deep as they've ever been. They got size in the middle. Karnowski, the big center inside. They're a team that's on a mission to win a national championship. But the way the season's gone, any of those four teams could win. There's not a dominant team out there.
Dave, when I was a little boy growing up in Hazleton, I started playing Tecmo Bowl, and that's where I saw Bo Jackson maybe for the first time, started watching Pro Stars. He was in that cartoon with Wayne Gretzky and Michael Jordan. I became a Los Angeles Raiders fan, and when they moved to Oakland, I was excited. I guess when you're little, you like change. I knew they were the Oakland Raiders in the past. I was excited about it. I got older, and I kind of longed for the days of Los Angeles. Now they're going to Las Vegas, and I don't know how I feel. I said I understand the nature of business in the NFL. You got to keep up with the Joneses. If people are getting these new stadiums, you want to draw crowds, you're competing with HD TV at home. So I kind of get the business end of it, but I'm still not a fan of the move to Las Vegas. To me, they're a California team, either Oakland or Los Angeles. I feel the fans forgotten a little bit. I know they're excited in Las Vegas, but they have to be heartbroken in Oakland.
No doubt about it. Oakland fans are the most loyal in sports. Oakland Raider fans, I should say. They follow that team. Their hearts were torn out the first time when they went to Los Angeles. They got the team back and they supported the team. And the Raiders really haven't had much success, save last season. but the team was still followed. You saw that the black hole, and it was fun. It was part of the National Football League. National Football League in Las Vegas, it sounds too showy, too glitzy, but like you said, the business end, and we're learning more and more in this day and age, and not only sports, the business world and everything too. Everything revolves around ka-ching, ka-ching, and that's the bottom line.
I learned that, Dave, and I say that realizing, listen, there's no ads, no one reads the Standard Speaker Sports page isn't there. There's no ads, there's no Dave Day here, but at the same time, I feel we're losing some of the heart of it, of these teams in that, like the Oakland Raiders, who are part of that community. It'll be in Oakland, I think, for 2 more years, but when you get to Vegas, just win, baby. That's Dave Day for this week. We have Penn State spring football to talk about, Dave, and we'll talk about that next week.